Good evening. Hope everyone's having a good week, coming off of a great weekend. Just finished watching Tim's TED Talk, Why You Should Define Your Fears Instead of Your Goals. And I found it a really interesting TED Talk. I know for me personally, just because my business has us write down our goals, both professionally and personally on an annual basis, we talk about goals all the time. When I'm more accountable to my professional goals than my personal goals, because although they have us write down our personal goals, they just say, did you meet your personal goals, yes or no? And then it's up to us whether we want to share them or talk about them. So there's not really accountability for personal goals, whereas business ones, there's accountabilities and steps. And obviously we want our team to meet their personal or their professional goals. And so our business wants us to meet our professional goals. But I thought this was really interesting way to write out your fears. What is stopping you from making these decisions, these big life choices? What is the relationship between fears and goals? I think the relationship is that's what stops us from making these goals. That's what stops us from making the progress towards those goals. I know for me, sometimes I don't like New Year's resolutions because I don't want to fail. And so I just don't make New Year's resolutions because I don't want to let myself down. But I think that's a good example of I'm letting the fear take over why I don't want to have a goal. I think if I were to write down his system with the goal in mind and write down, what my fears are, why, and go through all of the steps, I would actually have a lot more success. And I really liked the quote, we suffer more often in imagination than in reality, and how true that is, how quick we can have self-doubt. We doubt ourselves, of course we can't do it, or what if, instead of being our own cheerleaders and pumping ourselves up, knowing that if we set the goal for ourselves, we know we can achieve it. No one knows us like us, right? So when he went through that whole 3-step process of writing down your goals, number one, I really, really, really like that they're written out. I love that it's visual. I love that you physically write down what the fear is, define it. What is the fear? What's the worst thing that can happen? And then what can prevent it from happening, even just a little bit. I like that he added that in there. It doesn't mean that it has to totally 100% collapse. What if just a little tiny piece of it happened? How can you make sure that you have something set up for success on that? And I really liked that because I am by nature a stressor and a worrier. And so I do worry about every little tiny pinpoint on things. And so for him to say, like, even just a little bit, even just a little piece of it goes unrailed, it's okay to have a repair set, right? What if this goes totally awry? Oh, I already have a plan for it, so I'm okay for it. So I liked that. And then I like what are the benefits of an attempt or of partial success. So reminding yourself that there's a reason we set this goal. There's a reason that he needed to take that vacation and get away. There's a reason that we need to go back to school and prove to ourselves that we can get our degree, right? There's a reason that we're doing these things. And then the cost of doing it emotionally, physically, financially, is the cost worth what the outcome is? So I really liked it. I actually want to try that on my next goal setting and see if my personal goals are as successful as my professional goals, if I write out as many steps as he has listed here. I also thought it was very interesting, total side note, that he said a normal person has 6 to 10 major depressive episodes in their life. I wonder how accurate that is, but I think that is very interesting that there are times in our lives that I would consider myself a very positive, jovial person, but I know that there are times in my own life where I feel like I have self-doubt and I am second-guessing myself, and I feel more depressed probably than other times. So I thought that was an interesting thing to say, that it is okay to say that this is a hard time for me, and maybe I need to write out these goals more now than I would say in a year when everything's going right for me and it's easier for me to stay positive and see the positive side of things. And so I think that sometimes when I'm rewriting my paper for the 12th time at midnight, because that's when I have a chance after the kids go to bed, remembering that what is the goal? What is the end result? It's okay that I'm writing it for the 12th time. It's okay that there is a laundry list of suggestions back from the professor of suggestions, because those are all learning points and things that I can work on later.